Happy New Year! I'm Mark McKay. Welcome to Sage Smart Solutions. Please join us weekly to learn new and exciting ways to protect your assets and retire tax-free. Marcy's in Amarillo saving the world right now, but there were a couple of things that I wanted to talk about that I've been meaning to talk about for a couple of weeks now, and life got in the way, Christmas got in the way, New Year's got in the way, kids. Anyway, so I'm hoping that in the next week or so we will do a piece on actually both of these topics. I have two topics I want to talk about that I think are timely. So I wanted to go my New Year's resolution was to release a video every day. I'm kidding. But I did want to get up on here and wish everyone a happy New Year. It's been a few weeks since we've been on here. Posted lots of stuff recently. The clouds have been amazing. The skies have been amazing around the panhandle of Texas. And we've had some encounters with some longhorns and some audads. So if you didn't see any of those, check it out. Or if you don't know anything about what we're talking about, look below for one of our links where we stay a little more on topic. But we also have a masterclass. Basically, we focus on tax-free retirement planning and alternative investment strategies. But we focus on controlling your tax situation. We feel like one of the biggest problems I see in the country today with retirement savings is we've all been fed this load about tax deferral. If you don't pay it to the IRS, you get triple compounding. But you're basically loaning them money. You're borrowing money from them and saying, you know what, whenever you want me to pay it back, let me know and tell me what interest rate you want me to pay. That's not where I meant to go with today. So there are two things that I want to talk about. I don't have any graphics to go with it. I've got a pug waking up here, so hopefully he'll let us get through it. But one, Elon Musk. What we don't talk about Elon. I've got full disclosure. We've got a kid that is a genius, and he was here in the summer, and I was doing things on YouTube, and every now and then I'd run across these live streams, what I thought were live streams, and it was Elon, I think Kathy Woods, who's the head of ARK Investments, and which was getting a lot of press at the time. She was getting a lot of exposure, and I say that I realize that. Because I see it doesn't mean that someone's getting a lot of exposure. It means that the algorithm has tuned into me, because I do get a lot of my information via streaming sources. So, but anyway, these live streams of Elon, Kathy Woods, the guy who looks like the bass player from Metallica, and some random, and it's sincere. They're talking about how Bitcoin allows it keeps the bureaucracy out of, if you want to build a water well in Africa. That's always the example they use, that it's not efficient for me to send money to Africa if I want to build a water well. But what threw me is they had this window with these four people talking, and they're all very intelligent, and some of what they said made sense. Some of it was them just regurgitating talking points. But what got me was they were saying there was all these graphics on the side. It says, if you send us 0.1 Bitcoin, we will give you 0.2 Bitcoin. If you send us 1 Bitcoin, we'll send you 2 Bitcoin. If you send us 3 Bitcoin, we'll send you 6. And they did the same thing for Ethereum. And part of what bothered me was there was no incentive. If you gave 1, you got 2. If you gave 10, you got 20. And they had like 8 examples of this. And I'm thinking, well, first of all, you're not giving me any incentive to do 2 as opposed to 1. But also you're basically just explaining it to people who can't multiply by 10, who don't know to move the decimal point to understand. It was so simple. And my son was walking through, and I said, look at this. Does this? And he's like, no, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. They're basically saying because they want the good PR and they want to promote, blockchain technology, they're going to, if you deposit 10 Ethereum, you're going to get 20 Ethereum available. Basically they're saying the next day. And I didn't think much about it, and I didn't see it too much. But then a few months later, and just a couple of weeks ago, and I wish I could remember the YouTuber that broke this, or that I noticed. But what happened was Russian hackers were going in and they were actually taking over websites. So ARK Investments, and I don't remember the specifics, and I'm not going to bother to look up the specifics because the time I do, they will have changed. But one was actually a Tesla, Tesla Investments or something. They were going in and hacking these websites of these big established, operations, and they were actually going through and changing all the YouTube videos for some of these. So when you see this and it looks like the real deal and it's really them talking, but they were just running these live streams as if they were live. But it was just Russian hackers saying, if you send us 10 Ethereum, we'll send you 20 Ethereum. If I get any of this terminology wrong, please, some of you people correct me, because, anyway, so if it sounds too good to be true, and I hate that expression because people use it, and I'm like, well, it sounds too good to be true because we didn't look at the math and see this and understand that anyway, in this case, it is. If somebody just says, you give us 10, we'll give you 20, there's no risk, and it's because we want goodwill and loyalty. And they got several $1 million. And I know that they've done this twice. I was going to kind of let the people who are experts at uncovering these things get into it, but I haven't seen that much other than the one person who explained it. But if you see the richest man in the world offering to double your money overnight in order to increase the PR of Bitcoin, look under the hood. So the other thing I want to get into real quickly, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I do think it is timely. Rates are going down. And I know that that's not what you're hearing. And I know that the Fed will probably raise interest rates again, but rates are going down. And what I'm basing this on is I've started getting notifications from the annuity providers, the insurance companies, that they actually started lowering the rates on some of their fixed year products. So if you've looked at, if rates ever got up above 4%, I'm going to go lock in for 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. Now is the time to really look at that and decide if that's what you want to do. There are some great 3-year, there's some great 5-year rates, but I do think they are going down. Now we could have a black swan event that could change that, but I do think that the Fed has raised interest rates too quickly. I think they're going to continue to do so, and I think that they're going to then be scared of stagflation, and rates are going to start coming down. Rates in the private sector are going to come down before that, and these actuaries at these insurance companies, they're so conservative when they start tightening, or it's really, really one of the most reliable indicators. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great new year. I hope you enjoyed your holidays safely and got to spend time with family. I will have Marcy back with me for my next presentation. But rates are going down, so if you're looking for fixed interest rates, or you've got some sort of a strategy, you'd like to show you a strategy that will work well in a declining interest rate environment, watch the Masterclass. There's a link below. Schedule your strategy session. 30 minutes, we'll do a Zoom call, we'll do a phone call, whatever, see if we're a good fit and move forward. We're not going to pawn you off to some intern. Anyway, everybody have a great week, have a great weekend, and have a great 2023.